Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. It is literally dark as I don't know what outside right now. My plan was to have all of my reviews up long before the sun set, but a whole lot of things went down earlier and I had to get my mind right and even decide whether or not I could even bring myself to even come before you. So, I'm trying to push through and deliver on what I promised, because I actually prepped all this stuff last night and I was gonna, get up and do a few things and then come on here. My hair was supposed to be done and everything, y'all. My hair is, I just combed it out in preparation of me being able to wash it and then do what I was gonna do to it. Y'all, I ain't done nothing. Anyway, y'all, on to the review. Okay, so it started out showing Melody at the house going through some old photographs of her husband and her when they went on like first trips and things like that. And I was just like, okay. And then they actually showed a flashback of when they got married and like the things that they were promising one another. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. Like it can be kind of heavy considering all the things that are going on now. It's like, wow, you said all these things, but nothing, you're not doing any of the things to show that you want this to be the forever that you claim that you want as far as Martell is concerned. But anyway, she's going through some old stuff and she's actually been staying at a friend's house. Martell has been at the house with the kids and, she's acting as though she's done. Like I told y'all before, I don't believe that they are. I feel as though they are still legally married. I don't even know if I believe that paperwork has been filed. I have not cared enough to do the research to look it up and see if paperwork is on file for them, because that's something that anybody can do as long as you know the names of the parties involved. So yeah, but I don't think that they have divorced one another. I don't think really anything has been out there. As far as him being served, any of that. Y'all, anyway, so while she's in the midst of doing that, like she has this big bag and everything, and Letitia comes by, and apparently Letitia texted her saying that she wanted to talk to her, and Melody was like, well, she and I haven't spoken since the last time they were together or whatever. And I think that was when they did that game night or something. But she came in and, she was like, well, hey, what's going on with you and all this other stuff. And so at first Melody tried to play it cool, but then she was like, well, I don't know if you know, I'm pregnant and, I'm going through all this stuff with my husband and, we are not on the greatest of terms and divorce papers are about to get filed. And so she's just looking like, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe all this stuff is going on, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to make sure I didn't burn myself. I'm doing the most over here. Like y'all know I'm anemic, so I had me a little heater and it's right on my knee. I'm trying not to burn myself. So anyway, back to the recap. So they're talking and so she's like, oh my gosh, I came over here to talk about my stuff, but my stuff is like nothing in comparison to what you have going on. So then, she was like, well, whatever it is, what it is, what's going on with you. And then she told her about everything that went down with she and Marceau and how he is not showing how he feels about her. And she just wants small tokens of appreciation and, affection with flowers and stuff like that. And he works so much and she's just in the state of mind where you're working so much for something and what you think you're working for, you're about to lose it. So, y'all know what happened last time. That's basically what she's saying again to Melody. And so she was like, well, it's messed up. I hate to hear they're going through all this stuff. So then Kaiwa comes up in conversation as far as Maurice and Kimmy are concerned. So they are at the house and he's doing like this FaceTime. I don't know if it's FaceTime on the laptop or if it's supposed to be Skype. I don't know. There's so many different ways that you could do the same exact thing that you do on FaceTime. But that's what he's doing to talk to Kaiwa about their child, Monster, as they call him. And she's trying to figure out, what's going on with him and what's going to happen with him getting enrolled in school, and also about him going to church. And so Kimmy is literally around a corner listening and then she gets in the confessional and she was like, here we go again. He's over here talking to her about all these different things and not including me in the conversation. And I'm just like, girl. Because she feels left out. And my thing is, I get it to a certain extent, but it's like, he's doing the most to try to get his child in his life permanently. And, the mama's already having issues because she can't find a job down there in Huntsville right now. So she and whoever the guy is that she's with, they can't move down there because he is expecting them to pay some bills, even though the place that he has offered up to them is basically paid for, and you got to pay utilities and all that stuff. And of course you have to pay to eat and activities or whatever else you're gonna do as far as what a normal life consists of. So when he got off the phone from talking to Kaiwa, she had a back and forth with him about that. And I'm just like, girl, it's too much. Y'all, anyway, Marceau walked in on his mother-in-law folding clothes and all this other stuff and tried to make it seem like Letitia said that, she feels like her mama is overstepping her boundaries and that it's time for her to go, and that he enjoyed having her around and it was nice while she was there. And he said that she has been a breath of air, not fresh air. He said this has been a breath of air. I was like, are you trying to be funny? I don't know if he's trying to be funny or not, but okay. So they went back and forth, and then Letitia came in the room because she was like, what is going on up here? And so her mama was like, Marceau was trying to say that you want me gone and that you don't need me and all this other stuff. And so she was like, no, it's not what I said. What I said was, when we were having our private moment in the bedroom talking, as far as, what we saw the last time that they were on screen and the situation went down, and y'all saw her mama walk in the room, she felt like, she shouldn't have done that. But as far as her being there, she does not have a problem with her being at the house because the sole purpose of her being there is for support. She's working and her husband's working, and she needs somebody who she can trust to be around the kids. And if her mother's willing, why not let her be there? But at the same time, y'all know how her mama can be. So, I get it, but Marceau, he just sat up here and flat out lied, trying to make it seem like Letitia was like, she feel like you doing the most and you gotta go. And it's like, okay, you doing too much, sir. You really doing too much. So she was just like, look, all you need to know is she would leave you and have you put out before I would ever leave. So make sure you remember that. Put that in your memory bank. I was like, oh my gosh, man. Y'all, so it got to the point where what we saw before in the preview, where he was talking about, well, if she's gonna stay, I'm gonna go get me an apartment. And so she was like, oh, okay, well, good, fine. That's her mama was saying all this. Because it's like, why would you just say that? Why would you go and leave your home to go out and get an apartment and pay a whole nother bill? Because you're gonna be paying the bills there too for those kids and for your wife. So I don't know why any of these people are willing to do all that when you have a place to stay. You have somewhere you're already actively paying bills, so why would you do that? Like, that makes no sense. So again, that's where people keep on thinking like, okay, you must got something going on in the background for you to just easily have that to roll off your tongue. Y'all, anyway, the baby reveal happened, and she, like I already said before, Melody had been staying at a friend's house, and so she came back to the house for the baby reveal, and she said that she'd basically spoken with Martell and was like, are the kids squared away? Is the house clean? Is there anything I'm actually gonna have to do? And he kind of made it seem like everything was fine and that all she had to do was just show up for the baby reveal. And she claims that when she got there, everything was in disarray. Everything looks like a mess. And she was in there Windexing the table down and like all this stuff. And she just came in and she was like, I had to take trash out. I had to do this. I had to do that. The house is the house is just a disaster. I was like, oh Lord. And from what I saw, unless she'd already done all that work before the camera started rolling, I didn't really see where it was a disaster. She said that when she came in the room, she had to make the bed up. So, I mean, I kind of believe that. But still, you know, he was just like, look, he was upstairs trying to get ready and was talking to her like, I don't know what's going on. I asked you earlier, do you need my help with anything? You said no, so I don't understand what you want from me. And y'all, it was just a mess. So the people started arriving for the baby reveal. Marceau reading in the confessional like, this is awkward. I don't even know why we're here. These are people who aren't even trying to really be together right now. They're not on the greatest of terms, but we're here for a baby reveal. Like, this is very awkward. So I don't even understand what we're doing here. So then they greet the people after everybody who I guess was gonna come already arrived. And then they were like, okay, y'all, we're gonna go outside for the baby reveal. So they went outside and they had this drone that was gonna drop, I guess, petals to show whether it was gonna be a boy or a girl. And while they were talking, certain things were said to the point of where I think somebody was like, oh, you said you want to have 5 kids. You got to have one more, right? I think it was Sadaric or whatever his name is, one of the main people who apparently shouldn't be saying nothing about no kids because he ain't taking care of his, per Martell. And he was like, well, you know, you can ask Melody about that. So she was like, you sure you want them to ask me? And like, she had this look on her face. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, you could see how crazy the whole situation was. That's how bad it was. I was like, why did y'all do this? Y'all then come to find out they both planned the baby reveal, the gender reveal, to be on their 11th wedding anniversary. So in her mind, as far as what she's telling us, she's making it seem like, you know, we playing this and all this other stuff. He ain't said the first happy anniversary, nothing. Like, nothing has happened. She doesn't feel as though he's showing and proving anything. So, you know, all these efforts that he's trying to make it seem as though he's doing on this day of all the days is now the gender reveal and y'all's anniversary, and you ain't saying nothing to her. You ain't brought her a card, a flower. You ain't kiss her and say happy anniversary, like nothing. There's no acknowledgement of their anniversary when this special day was put aside just for the baby gender reveal, and then you say nothing. So she's in her feelings deep about all of this, and it's just like she can tell, like, in her mind she's just like, it's over, I'm done. So Marceau and Martell go off by themselves, and again Martell is talking to Marceau, and Marceau expresses how it is very awkward for them to have this when they are going through what they're going through, and he was shocked that it was even happening. Meanwhile, Letitia and Melody are somewhere in the kitchen or something cutting cake after they've revealed everything, and she was like, you know, it is what it is, paperwork being drawn up, all this other stuff. And she was just like, and then she expressed what I just said to y'all about how it actually is their anniversary, and he ain't said nothing, he's done nothing, and she tired of it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, y'all doing a lot. Y'all, Maurice is having a one-on-one moment with his son, and he finds out that he does not like Huntsville. He is not thrilled about supposedly starting school there, and he just don't want to do with it. And he went so far as to be like, you know, okay, if I'm gonna be down here, you know, is my mom coming? And so he explained the situation about how she doesn't have a job or anything yet. And so he has the bright idea, him being very, very innocent, and saying that, you know, she should come. When she comes, she should be in the house with you guys and all this other stuff. We all can be in the same house together. And it's like, he doesn't understand that dynamic yet. That's how young he is. He does not understand that's not how it goes, especially in this situation. I don't think he knows how explosive his interactions have been between his mother and his, you know, basically stepmother, Kimmy. But yeah, that's what he thought the situation should be. And he was just like, nah, your mama don't have a job yet, and we working some stuff out, but you know, she's supposed to be coming out here. But it kind of hurt Maurice to find out that his son does not like it in Huntsville, doesn't want to move there, does not want to go to school there, doesn't want anything to do with it in general. So yeah, y'all, it's a lot. And like when she was on her call with him, she expressed how whenever the first day of school comes around every year, she always, sees him off, whether she takes him to school or not. And so she was in her feelings even within that phone call. So he has a really great connection with his mother. So, I think that's good. So I don't think she's been saying anything sideways about him or Kimmy from the way that he, reacts so far, from what we see at least. So hopefully it stays that way. I hate when people get mad enough to where they bring the kids into it and say little slick stuff, and then the kids retain that information, and that might, develop into some resentment and, hate as well. But anyway, y'all, moving right along. Melody was on her way to go and be on it or support her. I think that particular day she was going to be on Letitia's podcast. And apparently while she was on her way there, Martell saw her and decided to follow her. She saw that he was following her and continued on about her business, parked her car, and was, ignoring him. So he rolled up on her and was like, what's going on with you and all this other stuff. And like, she literally won't answer any phone calls, any text messages or anything. And so she was just like, there's nothing to discuss. She's in her feelings because of what he has posted on social media, which is what I read to y'all last time. And it's just to the point where she said, it's over, because he asked her, is our marriage over or whatever. And so she was like, yes, our marriage is over. And then like he got mad and walked off. And so she got out of the car and, she was like, see, you want people to believe you this good dad, you're a good father, you're a good man, but look how you treat me. And like, y'all, you could really tell it was getting real, because like, y'all know the way that Letitia likes to say that Melody is, the way she speaks when she feels a certain way, even when she's like being petty towards somebody else, all that went out the window when she was talking to him and she was angry enough to just start going off. So yeah. But y'all, was just a lot. So Letitia ended up actually doing her podcast, which is Mommy Business. It's called Mommy Business. And she had her husband Marceau on it. And so they were talking. And eventually at one point, for some reason, she said that his aunt, first of all, before I even get to that part, y'all, guess how long they'd known each other before he got engaged to her. Now, I don't know if they said when they got married or whatever, or how long after that, but yeah, they known each other a month and then they got engaged. Either she said they got engaged or they got married. Y'all let me know down in the comment section which is which, because I might have heard that wrong. But yeah, and so a lot of people are usually shocked by that and all that, but I'm like, well, how long? I think they got married within that first year. And I'm like, okay, well, did pregnancy come out of nowhere or something, and that's why it was so rushed? Like, I don't know. And then it's crazy because she was like, within that 3 years, the first 3 years of their marriage, they'd gone through a lot, and she had moments where she thought about leaving and being done or whatever. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did, because you didn't know this person. You said yes to somebody who you'd only known for 1 month to getting married to him. And like I said, I really would like to know if it had something to do with the fact of her being pregnant or something. Like, what was it? Is that what it was? Because that drives a lot of people to act like, I really love you. I heard that you got pregnant, so let me go ahead and get this ring and put this ring on your finger. Like, is that what it was? Let us know. But anyway, like I was saying, his aunt now, one of his aunts approached her and was like, look, no matter what you got going on, make sure you have a little savings account somewhere and put some money away, because you never know what can happen. So he proceeds to ask her, do you have a savings account that I don't know about? And so she was like, huh, excuse me? And he repeated himself, and she was like, yes, I do. And he was just looking like totally blindsided. So that was hilarious that he didn't even know that was going on. So of course they had moments within their confessional where they were going back and forth about that. And I was just laughing hysterically, because I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for something to come out about him actually having at least one side chick, because he really, his attitude and the way that he talks to and treats women really gives off a I do what I want to do. whether that includes screwing other people type of vibe. I'm just waiting to see if that's gonna come out, and that might come out at the reunion. Anyway, so the end of this episode shows everybody getting together to show up for their friend Neville, who y'all saw came to the cabin late, and he was having this art gallery showing where 50% of the proceeds were gonna go to I don't want to say the wrong organization, but yeah, it's a well-known organization. I don't want to say the wrong name, but anyway, it was different things, and of course everybody was gonna be there and buying art and all that stuff. Y'all, why did Martell show up in the tightest of tight suits that he could find? Looked like that suit was 3-4 sizes too small, and he was about to bust out of it like the Hulk. My thing is, we know you work out. I understand. There are suits that are really tailored and you can still see the profile, but it's not as tight as it was. I feel as though if he had ate anything, whether it was a drumstick, a grape, or whatever, that he would have bust out of that thing like the Hulk. I really was waiting on the Hulk to come out of nowhere, because that's how tight that suit was. I was like, why? Why is this so tight? Y'all, anyway, Melody showed up, and everybody already knows how that goes. If you see one and then you see the other, all kinds of situations are going on. So, you know, a lot of people peeped that, and Melody went around and she saw him and she politely ignored him. She was actually in the middle of talking to who I think is his cousin or somebody. She was talking to somebody, and then he rolled up. He saw that as his golden opportunity to roll up on her and was like, hey, y'all, what are y'all talking about? And she politely went on by her business. I was like, oh my gosh. So, you know, she kept going around the room, working the room a little bit. Then she went off and was talking. Well, not talking. She went off and was in just looking outside. You could tell that it had just rained. And she was just out standing looking out, just, I guess, mulling over things that have happened in her life. Y'all, Marceau rolled up on her, and they were actually talking. And he asked her, you know, are you all right? They were in the middle of talking, and then for some reason, Martell saw that as an opportunity, again, for him to roll up on her. She's clearly said she wants nothing to do with you at this moment. She's tired. She don't want to do with you. Even Marceau in his confessional was just like, yeah, I told you need to fight for your marriage, but this is not the place or the time. So he excused himself, and he kept trying to talk to her. She was done. Like, she ain't had nothing to say to him. He had to just eventually walk off. Like, she's like done. Completely ignored him the whole time. Y'all, so that was the end of that episode. But the next episode is going to be the reunion. And like I told y'all before, they are still together because Melody says what she always says, which is the Holts are always going to be together. The Holts are inseparable, or whatever what she was saying. Basically saying that they are a team. The Holts are a team or something like that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this recap down in the comment section. I apologize for my dry and just low energy. I'm trying, y'all. If y'all knew what was going on the inside, you would think that it's amazing that I'm even able to sit here and do this. Anyway, I hope that y'all having a good one, and I'll be back with another recap very shortly. Bye.